welcome to Stocks Down Under. My name is Stuart Roberts, and I'm one of the co-founders of our service. And joining me on the morning of Thursday, the 22nd of May, 2025, from here in Sydney, is Mr. Allan Ritchie, who's the Chairman of Adavale Resources, ASX ADD. Allan, good morning.
Good morning, Stuart. Good to catch up again.
Last time you and I were talking, it was about your project in Tanzania. You had the ground right next to the Kabanga nickel project, of which BHP is a major shareholder. We'll talk about that in a second. We meet up again, and you've transitioned back home. You've got some very nice pieces of ground in the Lachlan Fold Belt up near the town of Parkes. Tell us about the Parkes projects you've picked up.
Oh, it's a very exciting project there. We've got four wonderful licenses. And we picked it up at quite a fantastic price. I mean, $900,000 all scrip deal for a package of four tenements. One of the tenements is the London-Vic tenement with now a JORC resource. We've just achieved that, 115,000 ounces. So on a value basis, if you consider what we've just paid at 900,000 with the resource, we're a multiple below our peers, so extremely good value. And of course, there are three other exploration licenses with, a lot of potential for what we hope is a good discovery hole. That's what we're working towards.
Right. So about 20 kilometres south of the Northparkes mine of Evolution, London-Vic
Yes.
was an old gold mine which was last worked in 98. Now, old grey-haired guys like you and I remember in the late 90s, gold being something like $200 an ounce. I imagine a decent pit optimization study for London-Vic at current gold prices, and this is May 25, so we're talking about $3,200 an ounce. You can do a considerable resource upgrade. It's reasonable to expect.
Absolutely. You're reading my mind. That's the London-Vic story is, I guess, let's call it our brownfields opportunity. There's a medium-term plan there for a path to production. Some small-scale mining in an area that is as simple as this is quite an opportunity. We did achieve a JORC resource, in quick time. We've only had the project for 3 months. We've done a lot of work across our license areas, and to also achieve a JORC in this short time frame has been excellent. We've run our pit optimization. We've found three easy ways to build that resource up quite quickly. There was some holes that weren't closely spaced enough that we could do some infill drilling and expand the resource. There was some high grade as well that we can follow in one of the extensions there beneath the pit to chase them like 2 to 5 gram per ton, and expand the resource again and give some more grade. There's a number of ways we can do that, and of course, and that will be wonderful news to bring out to the market. But we'll also be getting an exploration target in place, so we're going to do that one a little sooner as well before the resource extension and expansion. So we're going to be pretty active there, actually.
Absolutely. As I looked through your deck, the thing that really got me excited was your other projects are called Ashes. Now, with Ashes, you're getting good grades from the rock chip samples you've looked at, and you'll get out in the field and do a bit more work. But there's been an IP survey lit up like a Christmas tree with a particular target that your predecessors seem to have missed. You've now got a good idea that where the actual magnetism you need to hit. And that could be something that gets investors very excited, given the prospectivity of the ground.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that one up. It's Ashes and Miles has got us all a bit excited in the team. It's a great template of our approach to the numerous other prospects we have across the exploration licenses. So we've got prospects that are historic with high grade rock chips. We go back to site, we validate and confirm those assays with our own, fresh rock chips. We exceeded the historic rock chips, coming in at 10.65 gram per ton and nearly 2% copper and about 158 gram per ton silver in some chips around Ashes. But as you said, yeah, there was some historic work done there. So Meridian in 2009 did an IP survey. We engaged an independent geophysics group to reprocess that. And we've discovered that both Meridian and Anglo, it pretty much missed the target actually. And Anglo probably just snicked the edge of that target. What we've also run is a bit of a comparison to Northparkes, and we looked at Northparkes E26 deposit, that discovery. They had a high IP chargeability with an IP chargeability of 50 in these number of volcanics. Yeah, there's a lot of good reason to be excited. So we kind of looked at their map and their layout of what they did in their IP survey and where they ended up finding E26. So following the pyrite halo, we kind of glimpsing about where our future drilled target might be lined up. So a little bit more to process, but we're very excited. Back at the team.
All right. And your first drilling campaign gets started reasonably soon in the neighbourhood, right?
Yep. We're planning for a Q2 drill campaign. We'll have it planned and ready. So we're moving as quickly as possible. As I say, we only acquired this just over 3 months ago. Very committed team. We've been out to site 7 times. We're moving fast and furiously, but systematically and methodically, so we can really get a good target.
Well, it's impressive to me that the Lachlan Fold Belt has always been attractive to explorers and established companies alike. But look at the recent investment. Newmont decided to take out Newcrest, for example. The metals acquisition transaction that got hold of the CSI mine out at Cobar. So it looks like there's a fresh round of investment coming into the neighbourhood, particularly where you are. A decent discovery there could show up on multiple radar screens around the world.
The Lachlan Fold Belt's it's a destination. It's quite an exciting jurisdiction. As you pointed out, some of the majors, some of the big M&A that's occurred there recently. I think it's in the vicinity of $16 billion in the last couple of years. But also that there's the benefit of those majors working with juniors. I like to think the giants and juniors, quite collaborative. It's a very collaborative jurisdiction. Well, getting to talk to all the peers there, juniors and giants alike. You've seen Anglo Gold have committed into an earn-in with Kincora and also with Inflection, well over 100 million of commitment in those earn-ins for each of those companies. I mean, that's just fantastic, and it's good to have that kind of neighbourhood, and the appeal for majors to come in and work with juniors on some of this.
Right, and it's fair to say.
Waratah, how good have they been doing too? So
right, absolutely. Evolution aren't sitting on their laurels at Northparkes either. They've got plans to expand that operation if they can.
Yes, they have. Absolutely. There's a little, and being a neighbour to Evolution keeps me quite excited. I know when we were out there at Ashes and Miles, I was sitting on that Miles prospect and looking into the distance there a few kilometres away, seeing the large head frames there over Evolution's Northparkes mines. It was inspiring. Lots of work ahead of us, but it was inspiring, that's for sure.
Let's talk about Tanzania. Obviously, the price of nickel did no one any favors a couple of years ago and coming into this year. But you've still got the ground next to Kabanga. Kabanga's going ahead. Tanzania well out of the cold as an investment destination for resources companies under the current government. So you're not leaving Tanzania anytime soon, right?
Not at all. No, we've kept those. It's a low holding cost. We've got a very, we've been a great citizen there. We've spent well. We've done a lot of good work. We've worked with the communities, and there's, yes, sadly, when the commodity price goes from 45,000 a tonne to 15,000 a tonne, it's a difficult and challenging time. But we were hitting massive sulfide after massive sulfide after massive sulfide. So 5 drill holes in a row. There's a lot to be excited about that. But as I say, low holding cost. The market will turn around. Commodities always do. Nickel will start to tip up at some point in the future, and we'll be ready. And there's some very large neighbours near us too that may like to help at some point in time. So, we'll see how we progress with that.
All right.
Um,
So give us a bit of a hint of what's coming. Obviously got lots of massive sulfides. That's a clue, but we never quite got what we were looking for in those early holes. I guess that was just scoping out the scale of those sulfides, right?
Look, absolutely, and to be honest, we only, you know, drilled in that sort of. We had those results in that 300 meter-ish mark. If you look at our neighbour Kabanga Nickel, the superlative grade starts at that 600 to 900 meters. We're going to be a replica of that. That's kind of how it forms in that in that region, and so we'll get down there and get deep, maybe with some partners, we'll do some deep drilling. But we did scope out what was pretty exciting already in the shallows. So, as I say, a little bit more work to do at the right time for nickel, which it isn't now. But we've got a nice low holding cost until then.
Right. Meantime, you've also got some interesting ground in South Australia in uranium. Uranium stopped dropping just lately. It was over 100 a pound not long ago. It's stabilising at around 70 a pound as we speak. And South Australia being the most progressive jurisdiction in the country as far as developing uranium resources, it's a good place to be.
Oh yeah, there's a big smile on the team. We've done a lot of hard work in preparing ourselves for, that our uranium package in South Australia to build up to a nice campaign, maybe a quick 100-hole air core campaign. It's straight into the paleo channel. It's rather inexpensive. We've been looking forward to the price returning. It's nice to see it stabilising over 70. There seems to be a lot of promise on uranium and a bit more of this third wave potential of uranium price restoring itself. We're amongst great neighbours again there too. Some private companies like TriStar and Heathgate, that have the Beverley and Beverley 4 Mile mines that are in production. So our license packages are adjacent to both of them. I think if we can get a couple of good drill hole results, we might have some good partners in the region to work with.
All right. So here we are in May 2025. Between now and Christmas, obviously we'll have some drilling in the Parkes area. What else do you hope to achieve by Christmas?
Oh yeah, of course. There's we'll have some drilling. We'll have I guess a resource extension. We'll have some continuing, like some more recon on our exploration licenses. We'll do some more geophysics surveys. There's going to be quite a significant amount of news as we build up to our phase 2 drilling program over on the Parkes project. So it's going to be a pretty active year. And the back end of that year, I think, we may see some more excitement in uranium too. So let's keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, it's a big focus on the Parkes project and our gold and copper exploration, and there's plenty of news to come.
Right. Well, Allan Ritchie, well done to you and the team on getting this very attractively priced transaction, and the progress you've done in just a limited period of time is quite exciting. And good luck for the months ahead.
Yeah, thanks so much, Stuart. I'll keep you abreast of all the news.
Thanks for joining Stocks Down Under.
Yeah, thank you.